I am probably not the only lesbian who has been asked this question. So I felt the title should be the question that I am usually asked. Why are you a lesbian? And every time that I'm asked that question, I wonder why I'm being asked that question. And here's why. Because I've never asked anyone, why are they heterosexual? Because this question usually is asked by a heterosexual person to me. And so after I ponder why I'm being asked that question, this is the conclusion I come up with. I'm being asked, why are you a lesbian? Because the person asking me this question is not a lesbian. So I try to take a reasonable thought process when I'm asked, why are you a lesbian? And the reason why is because maybe this person really needs to know why I am a lesbian. But here's the thing. When they ask me, why are you a lesbian? Please be prepared for me to ask you questions as well. Because a conversation involves at least two or more people, and you both have to be willing to listen and respond. And when you listen and respond, you're making statements, but you're also asking questions. Now, I will admit, I never ask the person, why are you a heterosexual? And here's why. Because I already know that you're a heterosexual. I accept the fact that you are a heterosexual. But I don't even think about your sexual orientation. Usually, you let me know your sexual orientation in some form or fashion. There are heterosexual people who directly tell you, I'm straight. Straight is slang for heterosexual. Or you may tell me in other ways that you're heterosexual. And I accept who you are. But it doesn't quite work that way when it comes to me. Because usually the person who asks me, why are you a lesbian? There is a preconceived idea why they think I'm a lesbian. They already have assumed why I am a lesbian. And you know how I know this? Because they tell me. And it's really interesting as I'm getting asked the question, why are you a lesbian? Usually it ends up being a one-sided discussion, but it's not a conversation, because a conversation, a real true conversation, involves at least two or more people making statements, listening and responding, and questions are involved. And a real good conversation requires for both parties to participate. But in many cases, it's one-sided. And the reason why it's one-sided is because usually the person who is asking me, why are you a lesbian? They are in disbelief that I am a lesbian. They don't really believe that I'm a lesbian. Or they believe that I can change. In other words, they think that being a lesbian is a temporary condition. Surely you cannot be a permanent lesbian. sounds strange, I know, but that's how they really think. And then if they don't think that you can truly be a lesbian, they think that you can be maybe bisexual at the minimum. So you never are truly a lesbian in their eyes. You are at least bisexual, preferably heterosexual. These are the statements that I am being told by the heterosexual person who asked me, why are you a lesbian? The conversation always ends up one-sided. Now, when I do have someone who is willing to have a conversation where we're both communicating with each other, and they ask me, why are you a lesbian? They listen to my response. And then they may ask another question. And what will be the other question? The other question usually is, have you ever been attracted to a man? Do you like men? Do you see yourself being with the man long term? Do you want a husband? And you know, when they ask me this question, you know what I end up realizing? I realize that it's very difficult for this person to process the fact that I am a lesbian. And they know what lesbian means, but they really can't fathom that I am truly a lesbian. Because if you know what the definition of lesbian means, it simply means a female homosexual. A homosexual female or a homosexual woman is exclusively interested in and attracted to women only. Now, when a person asks the question, why are you a lesbian? This question implies that something caused me to become a lesbian. Yeah, see, it implies that something caused me to become a lesbian. Now, I mentioned earlier, I don't ask people, why are they heterosexual? Because for one, I don't think about their sexual orientation. And two, you've probably already let me know what your sexual orientation is, and I accept you for what you said. But in most cases, I will say 80% of the time, maybe even 90%, it's pretty high. 90% of the time, the person who asks me, why are you a lesbian? They don't just accept that I'm a lesbian. They challenge me. They do not believe that I really believe that I am a lesbian. Some people will go as far as gaslighting me. For example, they will say, who do you live with? How were you raised? Where do you come from? And they're asking me these questions because they want to know about my background. They want to know about my life because they think something happened in my past is causing me to be a lesbian. You see, they're not able to accept that being a lesbian is intuitive, it's automatic, it's innate, it's natural. They are not able to believe being a lesbian is organic. They believe being a lesbian is caused by a condition that I previously experienced, and the condition was not good or healthy. So they basically believe that everyone is heterosexual. But when they already have preconceived ideas and thoughts about my sexual orientation, my question to you is, why are you asking me, why are you a lesbian, if you already know the answer? You know why they ask me, are you a lesbian? I tell you why they ask me. Because they want me to question myself. They want me to doubt myself. They want me to feel odd. They want me to reconsider how I view myself as a lesbian. And you know how I know this? Because they tell me. It's rarely a conversation. It's one-sided, and they have all the answers. So, why are you a lesbian? Well, if you really want to know why I am a lesbian, then you wouldn't question me. You would just believe me. But if we don't ever get to that point, well, if you don't ever get to that point, because I already know who I am, then you will always ask, why are you a lesbian? And you will always really never know the truth, because you won't accept the truth. But it doesn't matter to me, because I accept myself and I know who I am. I am a lesbian. I'm a female homosexual. I love being who I am. No, I do not want to be with a man. No, I do not want a husband. No, I'm not going through a phase. No, I have not been hurt. No, I am not confused. No, I'm not just waiting for the right man to come into my life. And no, I don't have to even answer you. I don't have to answer your question. So if you do ask me the question, why are you a lesbian? Be ready to have a conversation. If not, more than likely, we won't have a conversation like this at all. I am Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do provide my lesbian perspective here on my YouTube channel, and you're welcome to be here. Have a beautiful day.